Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram at Candy Washington. Let's go!
Everyone, and welcome back to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care. As always, I am your host, Candy Washington, and I cannot wait to help you lead a more joyful life. But before we dive into today's episode, which is the self-care mindset shift to change your life, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment below. Also, rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast as well. And don't forget to share, because your journey to self-love and self-worth is always better with a little bit of support. So now that all of that is out of the way, let's dive into today's episode. So for me, one of my biggest mindset shifts that I've had that has really helped me to love myself and to know my worth has been learning to listen to my intuition, learning to listen to myself, learning to really tune into my own inner voice, my own guiding system. I used to listen to everyone outside of me. What did my mom want me to do? Or what did my siblings think? Or, what do my friends say? Or teachers or bosses or society or whatever. There are so many voices outside of us dictating who we should be, how we should act, how we should look, what we should do, what we should have, all of that. But the truth is, you are the authority on you. And you always know what is best for you. It's just whether or not you are tuned into it. You are in tune to your own intuition, your own guiding system, and whether or not you have the confidence enough and the belief enough in yourself to listen to it. That is a huge self-love mindset. I love myself enough to listen to myself, and I trust and believe and I'm confident enough in myself to actually do what it says I should do, to actually listen to it. It's one thing to know what it says, and it's another thing to actually do what it says. Sometimes we find ourselves in situations where we have that inner voice, we have our intuition telling us what to do, telling us don't go here, go here, do this, don't do that. We hear it, but because someone outside of us is dictating to us, or if even our own other voices of insecurity, of fear, of doubt, of not wanting to be criticized, or not wanting to, be the odd one out, or any of those things, not wanting to be different. We listen to those other voices that we have ourselves, whether it's insecurity or fear, depression or anxiety, or we listen to those outside voices, our partner, our friends, our family, whoever it is, that we think either has more authority or more power. And what I mean by that is sometimes we think people outside of ourselves have more authority on who we are. Sometimes we think our romantic partner, our parents, society, our siblings, bosses, teachers, whatever, spiritual leaders. Sometimes we think people outside of us are more authorities on who we are, and that is not the case. You are the authority on you. So when you hear your intuition, when you hear your heart space tell you something, that is the actual truth, and that is what the authority is. Or we think that something other than that voice has more power. Sometimes we think our insecurities, you're not good enough to do that. No one who looks like you has that, or our fear, if you try to do that, you're going to fail. Everyone's going to laugh at you. Who's going to want to date you? No one's going to want to love you, or our anxiety, that will never work out. That's never going to work out for you. Or our depression, look at all the mistakes you've already made. Look at how many times people have rejected you, or it's never worked out for you before, or whatever it is, right? We think that those other limiting beliefs and those other voices inside of us are more powerful than our true self, our high self, which is our intuition, which is our own divinity, which is our own guiding system. And that is simply not true. The only reason why outside voices have authority over us is because we give it to them. And the only reason why these other voices that we hear has power over us is because we give it to them. So stop giving away your authority and stop giving away your power. Your intuition, who you are inside, your higher self, that knowingness is the authority on you, because that is your true higher self. And it is more powerful than your own doubts, your own fear, your own anxiety, your own depression, your own insecurity. Your higher self is more powerful than that. So don't give away your power to those things. If you're not sure on how to tap into your own intuition, how to tap into your heart space, then there are different things you can do. You can start meditating. You can journal. You can walk in nature. You can pray, just have conversations, show me the way to listening to myself, show me the way to tapping into my inner guidance. Show me the way to feeling my heart space. And the way that your voice is your higher voice, it's your intuition, other than your fear, anxiety, stress, whatever, worry, depression, anxiety, is that it feels different. Your intuition, it's a whisper. It's steady, it's calming, it's knowingness, it's grounded, it's peaceful. But the other voices are chaotic, drama, high, how anxiety feels, how fear and depression feels. It's draining, it's uncertain, it's torn, right? So be able to discern how your thoughts make you feel. And if your thoughts make you feel that peace and that stillness and that whisper, then that's how that's my intuition. That's my guiding system. That's what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Other than the chaotic and dramatic ones. And the way you learn to trust yourself against outside voices, to me, that is just through the mindset of, I am the authority on me. And if you don't believe it, then do things in order to start believing it. So start small. If you are a person who's indecisive and you go to the coffee shop and you look to your friend, what should I order? Because you don't even know what you like. Take that little moment and just go inward, what do I feel like drinking right now? What do I feel like having right now? And let your little intuition tell you, oh, you want a hazelnut coffee, and then order your hazelnut coffee. Start small. Because if you have been disconnected, hey Brenda, how are you, sweetheart? So if you have been disconnected from your heart space, if you have been disconnected from your intuition, then you might not be in tune with it. So start small, start going inward. Another thing I do in the morning is I just go inward and I just say, thank you, God. And again, when I say God, I'm not talking about any particular religion, but I just go inward and I just say, thank you, God, for your guidance. Thank you, God, for your support. Thank you, God, for showing me the way. I just get quiet and I get still. So if you have been disconnected from your higher self, if you have been disconnected from your intuition, take moments in the morning and throughout the day and at night to simply ask for the guidance and to simply get still. Another thing that I do is I affirm it. Another thing I say is, thank you, God, that I am in alignment with and I am open and ready to receive your divine support and your divine guidance and your divine wisdom. Thank you for showing me the way. And then when you set that intention, when you affirm that you are open to it and that you are aligned with it, that opens you up to receive your intuition, your guiding system, the divinity that lives within you. You open yourself up to receive it. And the more you open yourself up to receive it, and then the more you do the little things that are in alignment with you, and you go, I went inward, I got the answer and it worked out and that felt good. Then on the bigger things, you can start using that same level of discernment. It's just like a skill. It's just like a muscle. You build it up. You build it up. Seek the guidance. Affirm that you're open to receiving it, and then do small little things where you just go inward and you just ask. Another thing you can do that I do a lot, especially because I'm a creative person, is I just say, thank you for showing me what I should focus on. Thank you for showing me what I should prioritize today. And then let that intuition come up. So then when you find yourself in bigger situations, when you find yourself with bigger decisions to make, you have been tuned in to yourself. You have been tuned into the divine. You have been tuned into your own intuition. And you've built up that self-confidence and you've built up that self-belief to trust yourself above all else. That's why sometimes when people have traumatic experiences that happen to them or really big things that happen, they always say, you know, something told me not to go down that alley. You know, something told me not to trust this person. You know, something told me not to go to that party. Something told me, you know, to stay in that tonight. Something told me blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Their intuition told them that their intuition was protecting them. But because they weren't tuned into it, and most importantly, because they weren't confident enough in themselves, they abandoned their own intuition. They abandoned their own protective system, their own guiding system, because they gave away their authority to other people and they gave away their power to the voice saying, well, you don't want to come across disrespectful. You don't want to come across as rude. You don't want to blah, 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 right? You don't want this person to think this about you. So you better do what they say. You better not rock the boat. You gave away your authority and you gave away your power to voices and to people outside of yourself. So tune into yourself. Remember, we can meditate, we can pray, we can affirm, we can journal it out. All of those things. Go into nature, do your self-care practices, because the more you tune into yourself, the stronger you get in alignment with your own voice. And then do the little things where you tune into yourself and you listen to yourself first, and you listen to yourself above all else. And those little things will gain your confidence. They will gain your self-belief. So when the bigger things happen, you already know what to do because you can go inward for that guidance. Another example of this is think about, you know, big CEOs and big entrepreneurs and big athletes and all these people, right? What do they say? They say, I had a hunch. I went with my gut. I had a knowing feeling. Those hunches, that gut feeling, those knowingness, that's their inner divinity. That's their inner guiding system. That's their intuition. And then they are so secure in who they are that they are willing to bet on themselves more than they are willing to give away their power to other people and to their own self-limiting beliefs. Everybody says it's crazy, but I got a hunch. My fear, my doubt, my insecurity, my depression, my anxiety is all telling me that I can't do it, that I'm going to fail, that I'm not enough. But I got a feeling this is going to work out, right? So do those things to get in tune with what you are and then continuously build up your self-belief so that when you have that gut feeling, when you have that hunch, when you have that divine intuition that is trying to take you to the next level of your life, you don't miss out because you are too insecure and you are too not loving yourself that you gave away your authority and you gave away your power. Hey, yes, so Brenda says, thank you. So Brenda says, thank you. We all have another person inside of us always watching and guiding. Yes, those feelings. Exactly. Yes, we all have, we have a lot of other people inside of us. That's exactly right. And that voice, it's your higher self. It's the self that is connected to the divine. You know, some people just say, oh, this idea just came to me. Oh, it just came to me. I just got inspired, right? Where does that inspiration come from? Where does that come from? It's your higher self that is tapped into the divinity that lives within you. It's that higher self in you. We also have the other voices living in us, right? The voice that says it's not going to work out. They're going to laugh at you. You're going to get rejected. Things are never going to change. Who are you to believe it's going to work out? Who are you to believe you can have different for your life? We have those voices too, but we have to silence those voices. We have to not give power to those voices. We have to reassign those voices. When I have self-limiting beliefs that come up, when I have voices that come to me and say, oh, that's not going to work out, or you're too this, or you're not enough of that, or blah, 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 I talk to it. I just say, you know what? I know that you're probably just trying to protect me for something. Thank you. But I release you into the universe for good. And then I choose a thought that reaffirms my worth and my value. I am worthy. I am enough. I am successful. I have all the resources I need around me to succeed. I am always chosen. I am blessed and highly favored. I am so anointed. I got this. Everything I touch turns to gold. Everything I touch turns to gold. My life is so easy. Everything happens for me so easily and effortlessly. Everyone who sees me, loves me, respects me, and wants to support me. I am a child of God. Divinity is my birthright. I got this. Why not me, right? Because you're going to have those voices that come up. You're going to have them. Their thoughts, their past trauma, their anxiety, their depression, they're all of those things. But when you remember that your higher self is the truth of you, then you can say to those thoughts, you have no power here. I know you're just trying to protect me. You don't want me to be hurt. You don't want me to be disappointed, but it's okay. I got this. I release you into the universe for good. Or wherever you want to release it. I release you to the sky. I put you in the water. I release you back to the ocean. I put you back in, whatever you want to say. Just release it. You have no power here. I release you for good. And then affirm your value and your worth and what it is you actually want to experience in this life. And that is a huge self-love mindset shift from I need to have everybody outside of me co-sign who I am, what I want to do, make my decisions, validate me, or I'm going to listen to these negative voices telling me that I can't have what I want to have, I can't do what I want to do, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, it's never going to work out. 2, I am the authority on me. And when my higher self tells me to do something, I am confident enough in who I am. I believe in myself enough to do it, regardless of what anybody else thinks or says. Even if that person is me, I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to do it. And it's that mindset shift of I may have negative thoughts. I may have self-limiting beliefs. I may have self-doubt. I may have fear. But I'm going to do it anyway. Hey, Tanisha. Hey, how are you, sweetheart? What's up? But I'm going to do it anyway, right? And this goes into my philosophy. I've said this a couple of times, but I hate, hate the strong word. I don't particularly like to use the word fearless when it comes to self-love, self-worth, mindset, goals, and all that stuff. Fearless founder, fearless leader, fearless boss babe. I don't really subscribe to that. If there is no fear, then there's nothing, then okay. If there's no fear, then who cares? You know what I mean? I could eat a sandwich today, no fear, but it doesn't matter. I don't like the word fearless because I don't think that's really what it is. I like the word courageous because to have courage means you have the fear, you have the doubt, you have the insecurity, you have the negative thoughts, you have the anxiety, you have the depression, you have the not knowing, you have all of it, but you do it anyway. And that is what I think it really is about. It's being a person who is courageous. Because if there's no fear there, then we could all do it. We could, whatever, like fearless, right? I think you have to be courageous in order to become fearless. And that's the part that people want to skip. Oh, I'm a fearless founder. I'm a fearless boss babe, blah, 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 blah. But what about the part where you had to actually go through the fear to get to the other side? Because the more you're courageous, the more you have the fear and the doubt and the insecurity, and the more you do it anyway, that's how you really take away the fear's power. You take away the insecurity's power. You take away the depression's power. You take away the anxiety's power, because you are proving to yourself that you can trust yourself, that if it works out, great, and if it doesn't work out, I'm still okay. Because the fear, anxiety, and depression and insecurity wants you to believe that if it doesn't work out, somehow you're going to crumble, you're going to die, it's going to be over, everyone's going to laugh at you, it's not going to work out, right? But when you do things, even when you feel that, and you come out on the other side, still alive, still here, if it worked out, amazing, and if not, you have wisdom. You have the experience, you have the relationships, you have the data, you have it all. Hey, Vaca. What's up, sweetheart? You have it all, right? So the more you feel the fear, doubt, insecurity, lack, whatever, and do it anyway, the more you are able to then become fearless. And the way you do that is you listen to your own intuition, you listen to your own guidance system, and that becomes your authority above all, above anybody else's opinions or judgments, and above your own self-limiting beliefs. And that is the most important, or at least one of the most important mindset shifts you can do, that is rooted in self-love, that is rooted in self-belief, that will fundamentally change your life. So if anybody has any questions, I will take them now. If not, thank you so much for joining me. But if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to put them in the chat box and we can go through it. Okay, you guys. Well, as always, thank you so much for joining me. And if you had any value that you've taken from this episode, or if you're really enjoying this channel, be sure to subscribe, like this video, and share it with a friend. Don't miss out on all the goodies we have in the description box and in the show notes. Be sure to click on those and join our community and have fun. So I love you guys. And until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram @Candy Washington. Let's go!